Look at these Gharial in here. Aren't they so cool? They're so interesting. Look at them swimming underwater. Oh, look, they're going to swim into each other as well. There we go. Little collision. They're very cool. I absolutely love this habitat. It doesn't really have anyone in it, though. That is a massive problem. So I think what we're going to do, it's about time. Let's add another entrance over here, and then we can really spread the guests throughout the zoo, because look at that. It's kind of becoming a problem. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate both of these, and we can literally just copy the building over. I wonder if I can copy it with the gates as well, because that would be ideal. Oh, I can. Perfect. And it looks like by selecting this, we've also selected the guest spawners inside. So let's grab these. Can we duplicate them? No, I think I might have to duplicate each one individually, but that's okay. Let's build ourselves the guest entrance gates and go from there. So if we build these over here in facilities, it'll be a guest facility, I believe. And if we turn the blueprints off, it's going to get rid of most of these options, and then we should be able to see it very easily. Now they're down here, the zoo entrance. Let's put 2 of them in here. I wonder how we actually want them to go, though, because we kind of want them to be symmetrical. It might actually be better to copy this across first, because then it's going to give me the guideline of where to put everything. So let's copy this and line it up with our path. And now we can duplicate the spawners and the gates together and put them over here so that they line up, basically. Okay, that's in. The path is pretty much there, so that's not too bad. I'm just going to check what we did with the pathing here. Oh, it just has a little bit of weird rope, but that's fine. Okay. That's not the worst. We could change all this to be the same, to be fair. Ah, it won't let us edit off the map, will it? But that's okay. Yeah, there's just a little bit of rope there, but there's not really much you can do about that. We could put a log in there or something, but I'm not too fussed about it. It's just a bit of an annoying snapping thing. And the main thing is it's in now, so that works. And there's already so many more people over here. That's perfect. Exactly what we wanted. We've got another entrance to our zoo. Over time, basically, now our guests will leave and be able to come in through here as well. And they'll space out a lot better across the zoo, which is which is what we want. And I also think we're just going to copy everything from this solar panel and attach it to our other solar panel we've just built over here. Just so it's got a bit more interesting decoration. Okay, that looks much better. And that fits in with the Asia section over here. Right, have we got any challenge rewards? We do. Adopt and place 4 different exhibit species. Let's claim that. Nice. Bit of extra cash. Look at all these people. I just can't believe how many people are coming through. That's amazing. I'm just thinking as well, it'd be good to link this to our guest facilities over this way. So I'm going to add in a little section over here. I'm going to put the railing back on the ground path so that the kids can't just run away. We've got a bit of a barrier for them. And I think we can just build this out this way and link it up to our guest facilities on the other side. Because these are right here. So if we do a little bit of editing here, I think we can get this to work. That seems good. That's connected up now as well. And if we put some meadow in as well, some meadow buttercups, we can, I'm going to put this on random rotation as well to make it a bit easier. We can kind of nature up this area a little bit. And then we do just need to connect up this path. So I'd like to use a staff path if possible and just connect this down. That seems good. This is nice and connected up there. There's a gradual slope and they can still access it absolutely fine. But we've now connected up the guest area here, so there's a bit more space for them to go. Just need to move these benches out of the way because these people are now blocking the whole path. Okay, if I exit that group, I should be able to do that. And this is much better connected now, so there's not too much of a gap in guest facilities. I do wonder whether we add some more in, but we're not going to do that right now. Like, it could maybe have a couple near the other entrance / exit. But really, I think in this section, we need another keeper hut and another staff room. I don't think we're going to bother with another quarantine, because if we were going to make the zoo, like, much bigger, then I probably would. If we were going to go out like this way and do all this section, I'd be like, yeah, let's put another one here. But we've got one here, and it's kind of centrally located. It's a bit to the left, but ideally it would be around here. That's not far off, and it's not that much of a walk for our animals to go through it, because really, you rarely use the quarantine. It's only if you get a disease outbreak or when the animal first comes into the zoo. So I don't think it's that big a deal to not have it. With our power as well, we could add a couple more education boards over here. Just need to turn off random rotation and then we should be able to duplicate these across. And have a couple more in here. There we go. That's good. And they're using the underwater bit as well. That's so cool. They're actually trying to see in. Oh yeah, you can see one there. There we go. You can see them swimming around. Let's put a small keeper hut and a staff room in this area here, because there's a good space for it here. So staff facilities, I'm just going to put a small keeper hut in, because I don't think it needs much. And the same with a small staff area, although I think the large keeper hut is the same area, like in depth, as the small staff room. So maybe I will just put in a large keeper hut and not worry about it. What negative impact does this have? I don't know why a staff room would have a negative impact on guests. They just don't want the staff to be able to rest, you know? It's unreasonable to see that. But they don't mind looking at a keeper hut as much. But a staff room, ugh. It is an odd decision with how they've set that up. Right, I'm going to move these benches out of the way, just so they can actually use the buildings, and then we can decorate them up so they look a bit more interesting and in keeping with this theme we've got over here. And probably the best thing for that is to keep with the bamboo. We've got them over here. I'm going to duplicate this kind of style, I think, over. So using bamboo and then the Indonesian roof pieces and the wooden logs, because that way we keep it as sustainable as possible as well. And we're kind of using as many pieces from Asia as possible to stay in the Asian theme. There we go. Look at that. That looks okay. I quite like that. So we've got our keeper hut and our staff room in here. We do need to add it into a work zone. So if I go staff work zones, I'm going to throw this on the Asia zone and then also into maintenance 3. Because then our mechanics can use it as well if they're in this area. They can use the staff room. Oh, we also need to put these in to maintenance 3 and probably the Asia zone as well. I don't think they need to be in the Asia zone, but for the sake of completion, we might as well just throw them in. And then everyone should be able to reach everything. What are our guests thinking right now? If we look at our guests, they're thirsty, they're hungry. Other than that, they like it, and the ticket price is good. Okay. Well, maybe the ticket price... To be honest, the ticket price could stay at 50. We're earning a lot of money. Like, I don't think that we need it. Let's let them in and let them enjoy themselves and think it's a nice zoo. I don't know why our average guest needs it like that when our star rating is almost 5 stars. You should be pretty happy about everything, I think. You got a lot of stuff in here. There's toilets right there, and then they've got all loads of facilities here. I think that's pretty good. And it looks like we've got another challenge completed. Education. Increase the Gharial education rating to 4%, and we've done 10. That's pretty good. Okay. Well, let's get started on the next habitat of this zoo, and that's gonna be for the Monarch butterfly and the Malabar rose butterfly. And these guys are actually, they get interspecies enrichment from being in the same habitat with these guys. So we can mix them up, and they're both endangered. So there's actually only 2. If we filter by exhibit, any continent, and then extinct in the wild, critically endangered, or endangered, you can see there's actually only 2 butterfly species there. I wonder if we select vulnerable as well. Do we get any more? No, I think that's it. Okay, so they're the only ones we can get. So there's 2 species there, though. Malabar rose and Monarch, both of which are endangered. And what I'm thinking of doing is instead of building them like a little butterfly house to walk through that's like inside, let's build them a habitat they'd be happy with outside. Because I believe they both live in... So this one lives in a tropical environment, and this one lives in temperate or tropical. So as long as we make it warm and give them the right trees and stuff, I think they should be fine. And we can definitely do that because we can support a tropical environment with some heaters here and there. I think this is doable. It may be ambitious or naive, but I think we can do this. And I'd love to make a big biodiverse habitat area on this side to have like a beautiful backdrop for this area. So I think what we'll do is we'll dot a few of these exhibits around the area, let the guests walk through on a small path. We can have like a 4 meter path that runs all the way through this area, and it can like wind round and stuff, and then it can go through different butterfly exhibits, but we'll turn off all of the walls and everything, so they're not going to be able to see it, and it's as if the butterflies are just outside. What facility is having a negative impact? How? Why are you there? Oh, okay, this is supposed to be a staff path, I think. Why would you even stand there? There we go. That's resolved. Now you're not going to do it. Okay, so let's put in a couple of these exhibits. So if we go on animal exhibits, we want the walkthrough exhibits here. And then we probably want to... They're quite large. I think we're going to want a few in. I mean, this is a really good spot for one. So let's put one here. And then maybe we do have one at like this angle. And maybe a third one up here. Like here. I think that's probably good. And then we can connect them all up with a small path that's 4 meters. Okay, I feel like that is a lot of pathing there that we've just wound around. And that's pretty good. That's kind of what I wanted. I wanted it to be a bit organic. And none of these are too steep. Like, I've tried to keep the ramps really, like, low down as far as slopes. And obviously they're not going to look like this. We're going to put in some supporting beams and stuff as well. I think we'll use the wooden logs for that because it looks quite nice. And most of it is on the ground, though. So I think I'm going to add in the wooden logs now, and then we can really see what this path is going to look like. Okay, I think that is all of the wooden supports we need. So we've done a pretty reasonable job there. I think let's actually get the butterflies in here and see what they look like when we get them in. So if we go on exhibit trading this time, we're going to search by the Monarch butterfly. And we've got quite a few in here. Wow, okay. So let's look at them in the Zoopedia and see what group sizes they live in. 1 to 90. Okay. Well, we can pretty much do whatever then, can't we? And they do actually live in North America, so they should be pretty happy in the current climate that we're in. However, the Marble Rose live in Sri Lanka, so I think that's the kind of habitat we're going to have to emulate here. If they live together and they're found worldwide, yeah. So the monarch butterflies can really live anywhere, but the Marble Rose are a bit more interesting, a bit more difficult to house, I guess. They only live in Sri Lanka, so they're still fitting in the Asia zone as well. And we're going to need 1 to 90 of them as well. Maybe let's just get like 10 of each for each of these. And that's probably good enough, honestly. Let's grab these. So 1 female, 2 females. I didn't actually check whether they're monogamous or anything, but I don't think they are. Yeah, polygynous. I don't think any of the butterflies really are. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Promiscuous and polygynous. So they have 1 mating event per lifetime. They're not that difficult, both of them. Yeah, okay. We've got 2 female monarch butterflies. What I'm actually going to do is I should have done this before. I'm going to empty our exhibit trading. I'm going to sell everyone else, because these are all the babies that we're selling to other zoos. 2 females of the monarch butterflies. Let's get some more. Okay, that is a few of them. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 males and 5 females. And they're kind of differing quality, but when you're getting this many, I don't think that's crazy. Let's, just to start us off, let's put a couple of pairs in each habitat and see if we can go from there. So we'll have 4 in here. And then let's grab you guys and put you in here. And then we can wait and see if we can get any more. Now, what kind of climate do you like? Let's pause the game. They're happy with 21 to 30. And... oh, they don't have humidity. They just have temperature. Oh, so they're actually happy exactly how they are. Perfect. Except they need power. So let's make sure these have power. That's very important. Oh, that really should with this building here. That's kind of annoying. It's just between power sources, but it's fine. It can have its own dedicated spot. We've got one here. Let's put a solar panel right there. And then let's add another one up the top here. And these can all go into the work zone. So let's add everything in. Work zone. Asia zone is going to get all of these. And then I think that's gone in, even though there's nothing in it. And then maintenance is going to get all of them as well. Okay, and it's super easy because what we can do with the sides is we can customize them and just put none on everything. There we go. I had to put one of the monarch butterflies in here just to get that. And we don't want to have mulch floor. We'll just have none for the floor as well. Doesn't seem to be showing up in these, but it is on there. So I'm going to just select none. I don't know why their one isn't showing as mulch, but we don't want it anyway. And if I hit play, we can see if any more come in. But we don't just need the monarch butterflies. We also need the Malabar rose. And these guys, there's a few here. Let's just grab all of them. And we can kind of go between. I mean, they are going to breed, and that's the whole point. So as long as we can get a breeding pair at least into each one, that's perfect. But I'm sure we'll do at least that as we go on. Let's put you in there. You in there. And then just the male in here. And again, let's check out what they feel about that. 21 to 30. They both seem happy. And now if we click on the animals, we can select which species, and they should be getting their enrichment from being together. I don't know where that comes out, actually. But they're 100% social group. They just want better layouts and stuff, yeah, because we haven't unlocked anything for them. So actually, let's get our vets on that right now. Our vet research, they must be done with what we left them on. Oh, they haven't finished on the Gharial. Okay, well, I'll leave one of them to research. Although the Gharial's got a lot of stuff by now. I think, seeing as they're halfway, let's get some stuff for these guys. Because if they don't have any research, then they have really bad enrichment. Whereas the Gharial's actually very happy. They just don't have food level 3. Oh, and they do. Oh, wow, it's just extra toys and breeding stuff that we would unlock. Okay, cool. Well, let's put them on food level 3. That is definitely the most ethical thing for us to do right now. Just put them on food level 3, along with everyone else that's not already. And then we'll research them later when we can. But they're not a priority. The butterfly should be our priority. And they're already in here. I can't really see them. They're very small, aren't they? When there's oh, there they are. There they are. You can see them. The monarch butterflies are there. And there should be a couple of the other ones somewhere. Oh, yeah, you can see one on the side here. It's so hard to show you without jumping the camera around. But you can see both types right there. There we go. That's pretty cool. And it looks like a few more monarchs have come out. So let's get all of these. And let's check the other ones. Malabar rose. Yeah, there's another female. So let's send these in. I believe there's only one male in here for the Malabar rose. So that's actually a breeding pair now. And then the monarch, oh, we got one female, but that's okay. We can have 2 more females and a male in here. We'll try and get another couple of males if we can. And we also need to put in some donation bins and some regular bins and preferably some education. So I think before we get too crazy adding in any of the nature around them, let's do that now. And that way we know that it's in there. And they don't actually use those habitat education boards. They use the small exhibit education boards like this. And we can put them on the path so they don't interfere with anything else. And I'm actually going to grab the one from the spectacled flying fox because we changed the colors on this. So I want to use the same color scheme all the way on the other side of our zoo over here. So it keeps nice and, you know, in keeping. Let's delete these. And then we can have 2 of them right next to each other, I think, because they should like match into each other quite well. That seems good. And now we can duplicate the set of them and have a few of them. And we want to make sure we're painting long grass everywhere. Otherwise you can see the outline of this. But that hides it nicely. There we go. That should be quite a lot of education there. Cool. Now we can also add in an educational speaker. And I think I'm going to do this on the back of one of them for each one. Oh, we're going to need 2, aren't we, to talk about them. In fact, in that case, let's put them on the ends. Then we can see what kind of range they can do. If we like alternate them on the furthest away. As long as we put them on the edges of them, and I may even just sink them all the way in, because I do think they're quite ugly. I think I'm going to sink them all the way in. And as long as they're on the edges, we can have them on like range 7, and they're absolutely fine. There we go. Nice. And it does make sense to put in an education talk for both of these. So we need to put it inside. It's just going to be a little bit clustered, but let's put one education talk in each area. So, and they can handle them, which is pretty cool. So let's put one there. I need to actually check what thing our Gharial are on. They're on June. What month? So June, we want to leave 3 months really. So then we'll have July and August, and then this one will take place in September. And then the other one for the Monarch butterfly can come in here, and that can be October, November. This one can be in December. And I think that should work, because I believe the other one starts in March, so then it's like a full loop. Now we just need to add these into our work zones as well before we forget. So the Asia zone and the maintenance 3. And I'm also going to do is just duplicate this decoration for the solar panels we've put in. There we go. They look a lot better. And let's see if we've done any of the vet research yet. Okay, we've done the first one. Does that unlock us anything? Yes, we got our first exhibit enrichment. So we are going to do these. I don't want to do it too gradually, but we've unlocked enrichment level 1, and I assume they all have the same, so it doesn't really matter as far as the layout stuff. Like, they will get the same stuff. Let's just add everything in to all of them, and then they should be good. We can also move the vet to make this research go a little bit quicker. We'll pick them up and put them near the research building, which I think is over here. That's where you want to go, right? Yeah, okay. Just save them a bit of time. And there's some more butterflies, so let's get them. We've got 4 more Malabar, and what about the Monarch? We've got 2 more females. Oh my goodness, lots of females and enough males of these guys. I'm going to add another female to each of these for the Monarch butterflies. I mean, they will have babies that are boys, and then it'll be much easier. And let's remove the filter on here. We've had loads of spectacle flying fox babies. Let's put a female and a male up here. And then another female into each of these, probably. And I'm going to call this Butterfly 1. Because there's no point naming them. Like, as long as we know what they are. Butterfly 2, and then this one is going to be Butterfly 3. And crucially, we also need donation bins, so we can get some money in for these guys. I'm going to put a donation bin probably like kind of opposite where the education talk is. And it looks like they're doing them as well, the education talk. So we probably only need 1 donation bin in each one. And then I do want to put some general bins just around the area, because otherwise it's going to get covered in litter, unfortunately. There we go. That's a lot more bins. And then we do want to put some benches in, because this is a long way to go. Got a nice set of benches along here to look out over what's going to be a beautiful lake when we're finished with it. There we go. I think that's good for benches. That's a lot of benches and a lot of bins and everything. I think we're pretty good. Oh no, we've got a disease. Okay, let's call this for quarantine. Call you for quarantine as well. And let's clean out their habitat just to make sure. Looks like the vets just arrived too. We're going to quarantine them as soon as possible and get them treated. And let's also call the keeper over here. Oh no. Oh, they're all getting disease. The birds, they're passing it through them. Does happen occasionally. Let's just quarantine everyone that gets sick. And basically, they'll take them to quarantine, and then they'll see that they're sick in quarantine, and they'll take them straight to the vet surgery when there's space, which is why you want to do it that way. Keeper's been called here as well, so please clean up. Look at you guys and your little babies. They're so cute. All right, I think it's time to put some trees in here and get this place looking a lot more lively. This is the list of all of the tropical plants that can be found in Asia in the game. And of this list, not all of the plants can reasonably be found in Sri Lanka, which is the tropical environment we're trying to emulate in this habitat. So this subset of plants are actually found in Sri Lanka in the tropical environment that we're trying to emulate. And of that list of trees, not all of those would reasonably be able to be grown here because we're in North America in a temperate climate. So not all of the trees would survive in this climate. And this is the subset of trees that could feasibly be grown here in the current zoo with a little extra TLC. So this is the list of trees I'm going to use for this habitat and make kind of a biodiverse wildlife area because we've been missing one of those. And this is a huge area to give back to the environment. So we're going to do a bunch of wilding, but it's going to double as the butterfly habitat. So let's get planting. Okay, I think that is plenty of nature for these guys. However, I do really want to have a nice lake here, and none of the plants from the Sri Lanka environment would have been able to grow here. But seeing as the butterflies aren't actually using the water, I think it's fine just to put some North American stuff. Like we can get some, I think, cattail reeds, temperate North America. I'm just going to filter by temperate North America and see what we get, and maybe just put some reeds and some lilies in or something like that. Yeah, let's get some cattail reeds and some water lilies in. I think that'd be good. Okay, that just looks a little bit better. Just a little bit of interest over there. And I think this area is really shaped up. I actually really love it. And look how in nature it feels when you walk through. You just feel like you're completely immersed. That's awesome. Okay, let's see what research we've got done as well. Because they've probably done a little bit while we've been doing that. Oh, they've just got the Monarch level 1. Fair enough. We were paused for most of that. So when they do get the level 2s, we can start actually getting more layouts in here, but we've got enough that they're fairly happy, I think. Let's see what they're saying. Yeah, exhibit. They're 75% happy. They're on 60% of the layout, but everything else is perfect for them. And we could just say we put some heaters in. I don't even know if it's really worth us. Well, we might as well. Let's add some heaters into certain areas. And then we know that, like, they're completely suitable for these guys. So if we put them on 21, I think that's what they want the temperature to be. Go climate 21 degrees to 30. Maybe we should make them more like 23. If it's 21, actually, let's make it 25. That's what they'd want, isn't it? So let's make everything 25. And we'll just add a few heaters at 25 degrees. Just, you know, strategically around the place to bring the temperature up. Okay, it's hard to tell because it's actually 26 degrees anyway right now, but I'm pretty sure that'll be good in the winter. It should give them enough temperature, and also the trees and stuff as well. Like, we want this area to be quite well heated. So that's what we're going with. Now, we've also got one of these. We've adopted and placed 5 different exhibit species, so we smashed the target of 4 there. And we're expecting Binturong offspring. Oh my goodness, they've just mated, and we've just got a baby. Ah! Nice. That's brilliant. Let's have another check for butterflies. Yeah, we got loads. Okay, let's get all of these monarch butterflies and put them all in, I think. And we'll do the same with the others as well. There we go. We've just sold all the others as well, and we've distributed these out, so there should be plenty flying around. You just can't see them super well because they're so tiny, but for the guests, like, they're definitely here. Look at them. There they are. Aren't they beautiful? Look at them. And they seem to be nicely in here, so I think let's learn a little bit about both of these beautiful butterfly species. The monarch is a butterfly found in a wide range worldwide, but is most commonly seen in North and South America. They have a wingspan of 8.9 to 10.2 centimeters and weigh approximately 0.5 grams. They weigh half a gram. Its wings are orange-red with prominent black veins, lined with thick black edges and white spots, and their legs and antennae are black and their body is black with white spots. Monarch caterpillars have a plump body covered with yellow, black, and white stripes, so you definitely see them. Some populations of monarch butterflies are migratory and will migrate over 4,800 kilometers from Canada and northern USA to Mexico. It may take 4 generations of butterflies to complete this round trip. How amazing is that? During the migration of the monarch butterfly, thousands of the butterflies will cluster together to create the ideal temperature for themselves. And when male monarch butterflies attempt to court and mate with females, 30% of the time they will accidentally grab a male and attempt to mate with him instead. Monarch butterfly caterpillars feed on poisonous milkweed, which makes them toxic to predators. The orange-red color of the adults is thought to signal danger for this reason. And during the caterpillar stage, a monarch caterpillar will eat 200 times its body weight in milkweed. So they're really trying to pack the poison in. Non-migratory monarch butterflies are solitary for most of the year, while those who do migrate will cluster in massive swarms of up to 10,000 individuals. A female monarch that's ready to mate will release pheromones to attract males. She will be pursued by a male in the air who will attempt to pull her to the ground. If he succeeds, they engage in a courtship ritual, during which he produces a spermatophore and presents it to the female. She may choose to fertilize her eggs with it or feed on it for nutrients, which is hilarious. As she is more likely to accept one of the later spermatophores presented to her, males generally attempt to mate as close to dusk as possible in order to maximize their chances of reproductive success. Once her eggs are fertilized, the female finds milkweed plants on which to lay her eggs one by one, up to 300 in total. 4 days after laying, monarch caterpillars hatch and begin feeding on the milkweed. Following a 2-week feeding period, the caterpillars pupate. And after a 9 to 15 day pupation, the adult monarch butterflies emerge from their chrysales. Depending on the time of year, the adults may begin looking for a mate or a place to hibernate. Breeding generally occurs in the spring months, which are different depending on whether they live in the northern or southern hemisphere. As monarchs die after mating, those who hibernate before may live up to 9 months. The nominate species of the monarch, which migrates across North America each year, is now categorized as endangered, while the global species is considered of least concern. Due to consequences of climate change, habitat loss, and universal use of pesticides, the population of monarch butterflies has declined by 80% in the past 30 years. The monarch commonly overwinters in forests. However, widespread deforestation means that hibernating butterflies are more likely to die of exposure to the elements or predators. Conservation initiatives like ours are encouraging habitat protection in Mexico to mitigate this issue. But as it stands, this nominate subspecies of the monarch butterfly is endangered, and we should really be doing more to help them out. The Malabar rose butterfly is also known as the Ceylon rose or Sri Lankan rose. It's a swallowtail butterfly native to the rainforests of southwestern Sri Lanka and has white wings with black rims and veins and red accents on the edge of the hind wing cells. Like many swallowtail butterflies, it has tails extending from the hind wings. The body of the butterfly is black with red stripes around the abdomen. Males and females look similar, though the female's forewings are slightly larger with more visible patterns. The wingspan of the Malabar rose butterfly is 9 to 13 centimeters, and caterpillars of the species are black with red antennae, except for one white segment in the middle of the body. The Malabar rose was considered a subspecies of the crimson rose, which is a related and more widespread butterfly of the same genus. The genus name Pachyoptera is made up from the Greek roots for thick and appearance. The striking bright coloration of the Malabar rose are a form of aposematism, a way of communicating to predators that the individual is toxic or inedible. As caterpillars, the Malabar rose also feeds on toxic plants, which makes it unpalatable to predators. This toxin is retained even in the adult after emergence. And the Malabar rose species was first described in 1853 by British zoologist John Edward Gray. Unfortunately, as an endangered species, the Malabar rose suffers from habitat loss in its already restricted habitat. The dense tropical forests of Sri Lanka are being cut to make space for agricultural land. Additionally, it's sought after by insect collectors and may be targeted by illegal animal trading, so they desperately need our help. And I think that's enough for this video. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like. It really helps the channel out. And I'll see you in the next one.